Hi, this is Deepak. I'll tell you one designing concept. Basically, suppose you are working in a Scratch project. Basically, not migration project. That is Scratch building from bottom line. Okay. In that one, client will give you some requirement, and through BA we'll get the requirement, and we have to develop as per that. And architecture level, whatever the product manager and all those things, they will gather all those info, and they will design basic the skeleton of the project. But let's aside all those things. Suppose basically I'll tell you a small POC. I am working now on it. Basically, suppose it's like a BookMyShow application. Okay. In that BookMyShow application, if you go for the fan company, like they will give you a requirement, you have to design as per that. Suppose that application small POC is BookMyShow. At first, what we'll do basically, can you think it once? Basically, when suppose they will give you the requirement, as per that we have to gather all those requirements. BookMyShow, what is that basically? Suppose customer will in that interface, at first they will log in, sign up and login functionality will be there, so that they can pay or do the payment and all those stuff. Okay. After that, in that interface, they will basically do the payment for the booking guest show for basically some city will be there, theater will be there. For that theater in particular slot, they will booked the show as per their interesting. Suppose adventure is there, a 3 date like that movies will be there. As per their convenience, they will select the movie so that they can watch. Basically in that interface, how to designing it, we have to gather all those requirements. Suppose I gathered all those requirements. Basically in that gathering requirement, how will designing the schema and all those things. In that gathering requirement, whatever the noun will be there in that, we have to mark it out and put it separate column wise, put it, and as per that marking as a noun, you have to make it as a class. Okay. For that class, suppose login and sign off functionality will be there, implementation. I'll tell you all those requirements. For that, how we mark it as a noun and how we implement it as a class format, I'll tell you basically. Just wait. Visit the front end and select the city. That is the basically requirement gathering. Basically login and sign off for user. Okay. User is here come up as a noun. Okay. Users separate, that is the class will be there. Okay. And as per that attribute, whatever the functionality requirement is there, we have to put it as an attribute. Okay. BookMyShow support multiple city. Here city is come. Okay. Every city have multiple theater. Here theater is come. We have to mark down all those things like that, so that we can easily design our schema. In schema designing, basically all those classes relationship we have to mark out, one to many, many to many, many to one, many to many, like that we have to mark out how we'll designing the schema, how we'll establish the relationship. That is the main thing in that component designing, model designing. Okay. In that main part is also schema designing. Main part, there's a lot of requirement is there. One by one I'll tell you. Okay. Multiple movies and different types of seats in auditorium, and type is also another entity. Okay. We have to mark out in requirement gathering all those things. We have to gather basic entity, whatever the functionality required for that application, the BookMyShow application. We have to gather all those requirements. As per that, we have to make the classes. Through that classes, we have to establish the relationship. Okay. That is the basic things. When you gather all those requirements, when you establish the relationship, suppose I'll tell you one basic things. Suppose city is there, theater is there. Okay. How we'll establish the relationship? Suppose in that schema designing part, movie will be there, actor will be there. Okay. We have to establish the relationship. How we'll establish the relationship? There is a trick. I'll tell you the trick. One that movies and actor. One movies can perform by many actors. Okay. We have to reverse it. In actor side, we have to establish the relationship also. For one actor can act in many movies. So we have to check out all those sites. That will be many to many relationships. Like that, we have to establish all those relationships. In that schema designing, basically there is a basic golden rule is there. No one will tell you. I'll tell you. Start with entities. Whatever I tell you, the class is nothing but entities. Find a relationship between them. Okay, that is whatever I told you. If relationship is many to many or relationship have attribute, then create a combined class. Many to many and all those. If relationship will be there, make it as a combined class, and again repeat the 1 and 2 step. Normalization concept is there. No? How we'll do normalize all those data? Client will give unstructured data. We have to structure it, and different. We have to establish the different relationships from one compilation of data to we have to gather, and we have to scatter it in multiple ways so that we can do designing our the classes and all those stuff. Okay, that is the basic thing. Suppose basically whatever I requirement gathering, there is a classes like city, theater, auditorium, seat type, and all those stuff. Basically VIP, platinum, gold, like that. We have to take it as an enum type basically. Okay, and seat type, status, available, processing, or locked. You have to check the status. No? Ticket is also there. Actor is already told you. Movie. These are all those. These are all those entities marked out by the gathering requirement. Whatever the noun, you can inherit that to the that paper and put it in class diagram and all that stuff. Basically, class diagram, sequence diagram, UML diagram. Basically, most preferably, class diagram is highly used in everyone. Okay. And that is the things how we establish relationship, requirement gathering. All the stuff you have to write it down, and if that is the BookMyShow, that is not that much stuff. Gaming application like tic-tac-toe, and that is known as zero content, right? Ladder and snake, all those game designing also you have to designing like that only. Okay. In basic designing Requirement, I'll tell you, I already told you, right? Gathering requirement, visit the BookMyShow has to support the multiple city. Every cities have multiple theater. Every theater might have multiple auditorium. All those things, write it down for the designing schema. It is good for. There can be multiple movies being played at same time. And same time, multiple movies can be played. There is a silver, gold, and platinum type of seat. All those type of when it will come, we have to take it as an enum, so that it is, and we have to put it as a spring boot project. No, at the rate enumerator type physical restraint like that, we can easily put as in. Client will suppose there is a business requirement there. One seat should not be booked by more than one person. Like that requirement they will give you. You have to implement that one as a business logic. Okay. Do you have a one number of seat per booking, like that? All those functionality we have to gather in one more business functionality, like one person can book maximum 10 ticket at once, like that business functionality will be also there in there. As per that we have to develop all those things. That is requirement gathering, schema designing, all those entity and how many classes will be there. As per that requirement there is a 13 classes like city, theater, auditorium, seats, seat type. So seat type I told you na, when many to many relationship, if it will be there, we have to combine all those. So seat type, so in that attribute will be so seat type, price, like the status available, process log, that should be enum type. Okay, suppose city, can you tell me the what will be the attribute of city? Guess it. Try. City have the name. Okay, that is one attribute. And city have list of theater. Okay, list of theater also an attribute. Second, theater, in list of theater it will come. Look at the list of theater, you have to take it as a class theater and also make all those attributes what is required. Like that you have to compile all those things and make it as class diagram. In theater, can you guess it? What will be the attribute? Theater have a particular name, location will be there, suppose address, list of auditorium. In theater, list of auditorium will be there, and list of shows will be there in there, like that. List of shows means upcoming show. Now Avenger is there, upcoming different movies name, it will be there. In that auditorium, basically theater, not a single movies will play, right? And as per the time slot, different movies will be there, right? Like that we have to determine all those things beautifully. Okay, auditorium, what will be the attribute? Can you guess it? Auditorium have seat, name, its capacity, how much strength it will bear, right? A list of auditorium features like 2D, 3D, Dolby, like that features will be there. All those features and types will come. We can make it as enum type. Okay, that is the basic things. In seats, what will be the attribute? Can you guess it? In seat number, seat type, it will enum. I already told you when type will come. VIP, platinum, gold, like that. Okay. And the status will be the ticket. Movie, in movie, what will be the attribute? Can you guess it? In movie, name will be there. List of language will be there, movie length, rating, list of actor, list of movie features. Like that we have to design all those things. Actor names will be there. They already played the list, many movies, like list of movie. Ticket, ID, ticket attribute will be ID amount, list of seats, so user, payment status, all the stuff we have to design like that. So is also one class will be there in that movie. Start time, end type, auditorium, list of so features, language, like that. All those attributes we have to input. As for that we have to design all those schema. If schema designing is completed and relationship already established, then code is a cup of tea, we can easily code it. But that is the basic concept from scratch level, how the project goes to the implementation. That basic rules will be followed by all developers. Basically product manager will be there, the design architecture and all those things through that pass to us. Okay, that is the basic things, schema designing, how to implement in code. At first, gathering a requirement, basically we follow the top down approach. Okay, when the gathering all those requirements, here we have to start from the city, from that city to the onwards. Okay, that is the all basic concept we have to take care when designing any application, BookMyShow, and gaming application like whatever I told you, snake and ladder, tic-tac-toe, like that. That is all already. That is the in fan company, HLD and LLD round. Most of the cases they will also ask like designing a parking lot, how to design a parking lot. That is also we can easily design in parking lot. That is not user defined, and all those things will be there. In that basic will be there operator. Suppose I'll tell you one beautiful. That is the in application wise we can implement. That is the beautiful business logic I will tell you. In vehicle entry gate, exit gate will be there when you are designing a parking lot. Okay, in entry gate. When bill will generate, can you guess it? When ticket will generate, when bill will generate, can you guess it? In parking lot application. Suppose two-wheeler, four-wheeler, multiple slot will be there, multiple spot will be there. As per the spot, multiple vehicle parked spot will be there, right? In that entry time, when vehicle will entry, suppose four-wheeler will entry, as per the four-wheeler, basically four-wheeler spot will be there. In entry time, ticket will be basically generated. Okay, entry time and ticket, vehicle number, operator, and all those attributes will be there. In that ticket will be generated. In that time, bill will not generate. Bill will generate at exit time. Why? At the time vehicle will park from some hours, right? Some hours after, when he returned to get back to his vehicle and go to the exit gate, at that time the bill will generate. Why bill will generate at that time? As per the business point of view, how many hours it parked, it can easily accumulate. so that we will generate our exit time. That type of business thinking we have to take care of that when you develop all those applications. Suppose one business is in parking lot. Suppose how we calculate all those prices. Suppose we have to make it as a slot 12 to 6, the price will be there. 6 to 12, the price will be there. Suppose we are designing as for the four-wheeler, two-wheeler, and suppose we have to design for the electric vehicle. For that, how will be the charges system will be there? All those charges, whatever it is already there, plus we have to add extra charges. There is a charging point will be there. Whatever the in charging point, how many hours they charge their electric vehicle. We have to think like that. We have to implement the logic like that, so that we'll get benefited. That the client will get benefited from whom will develop the application. In that basic things we have to take in consideration when you develop an application. Okay, bye.